Okay, up next, we have divergent boundaries. Again, that the word is divergent. At divergent boundaries in the oceans, magma from deep in the Earth's mantle rises toward the surface and pushes apart two or more plates. Since it was mentioned in the article that it is magma that rises to the surface that pushes the plates apart, as it's coming up, that must also mean that there are going to be volcanoes forming and erupting along these boundaries. Because remember, when molten rock is below the surface, we're going to call it magma. As soon as it erupts, the name for it is now lava. Lava comes from volcanoes. Moving back to the article, mountains and volcanoes rise along the seams of these boundaries. The process now renews the ocean floor and widens the giant basins. A single mid-ocean ridge system connects the world's oceans, making the ridge the longest mountain range in the world. On land, giant flows such as the Great Rift Valley in Africa, from where plates are tugged apart. If the plates there continue to diverge millions of years from now, Eastern Africa will split from the rest of the continent to form an entirely new landmass. A mid-ocean ridge would then mark the boundary between the two newly formed plates. That is going to be the end of our divergent boundaries. And that means we have one more boundary type left. As per usual, I'm going to go ahead and take a minute, allow you guys to catch up. If you're ready to move on, in chat and in person, just go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I see you guys, I pay attention. And if chat has any questions, you can either drop it in the chat, or online people have any questions, drop it in the chat, or go ahead and call it out for me. Okay, looks like we're good to go. Finally, we have transform boundaries. The San Andreas Fault in California is an example of transform boundary, where two plates grind past each other along what are called strike-slip faults. These boundaries, however, don't produce spectacular features like mountains or oceans, but the halting motion often triggers large earthquakes, such as the 1906 one that devastated San Francisco. So although this final type of boundary doesn't have as much of a lasting impact on the surface of the Earth as the previous two, of course, in comparison to the vast geologic timescale, it does, however, prove to suggest the lasting effects on human, plant, as well as animal populations, because earthquakes are still devastating. Okay, we are done with the article. Go ahead and catch up on your notes, and after you're done, you can go ahead and move on to our next activity.